Is Season 14's episodes way better than Season 13? Today, we are going to find out by going to Season 14. Alright, let's get started with the first episode. Up first, we have Thomas's tall friend, and this is a very bad episode. Not a good start at this moment, but I promise the episodes will get better and better each time. What I don't understand about this episode is why Thomas is carrying a pet giraffe to the zoo. He literally does nothing new to this godforsaken episode. All he's doing is just showing Mr. Giraffe a tour of Sodor. Like, come on, you just need to take your animal to the zoo instead of just giving it a tour of Sodor. Like, that would have been much better instead of this stupid one. Okay, not a good start right now, but I hope we can get an improvement, and we need to get it better. Otherwise, we would lose track of time. And I mean it this time. Let's try. I'm just hoping nothing bad happens. Alright, James in the Dark is slightly better, but not much. I don't feel interested with James in the Dark. James is an idiot because he refuses to wear a lamp. He's wore them dozens of times in the nighttime. My goodness. All James did was refuse to wear his lamp in the dark, and instead got Farmer Trotter and his pigs and Farmer McCall and his cow, I think. I don't watch this episode often. Not a good start right now, but I hope we can get it better. I don't feel interested. It was like, well, Alicia Bhatti is in this one, but I like her better. But this episode is worse than I thought. This is the reason why James in the Dark has to go there. I do not feel welcome with this episode. Like, come on. This needs to be taught a lesson. In order to do so, this needs to stop at this moment. Well, it's a shame though. It's a shame on how this episode goes. Let's get going.
One of our nicknames is Double Trouble because we're always getting into some.
I seriously hate these ads. Pingy Pongy pickup is much better. Emily just doesn't want to do the laundry thingy. And I understand her feelings towards it. I don't know why I like this one. It's so bland and it's forgettable. I seriously need to think properly first before what this episode is. I mean, the crashes are a bit too weak for some reason. That would have been much better if none of that would have happened. And I feel this episode needs to be respected, but not at all. I don't know how, but that's so bad. It would have been much better if none of this would have happened. And yeah, that's not so good. Let's just move on first. In order to try and figure this out, we'll have to prove it. Alright, Steady Eddie is a really good episode. Charlie's back in this one though, even though he was introduced in Playtime in more other episodes like the Runaway Kite. This is much better, but slightly. It's just because Charlie doesn't think Edward is fun anymore. because Edward is taking Sir Topham Hatt's car to the steamworks, not having fun with it. Charlie was the main purpose of this episode, not Edward. And I can't realize the fact on how crappy this one is. If only Edward had been a really useful engine and none of this would have happened. Then none of this would have straightly been happening. I'm not sure how dumb this is. If I try this too much, it's not going to go well. Conflicted, though. Just conflict the episode being so suspicious. And I cannot realize the fact that I do not like Charlie being the reason why that Edward is not much fun. He's barely even seen Edward. Like, come on. I don't understand. Hopefully this is better. Just hopefully. Alright. Toby and the Whistling Woods is a really good episode. It goes there. This is probably one of my favorites of this season. Well, we'll find out if the others improve. Toby does not like going to the Whistling Woods. And I feel his fear in this one. Because, for a fact, Toby is kind of scared because Thomas and James would laugh at him if he was a scaredy engine. But they didn't laugh at him. They were worried for his friend. Like, I understand. Their friend is like worried of the weird sounds in the Whistling Woods. And I feel bad for him. But at least this is much better than ever. But I don't know about these other episodes. And I'm hoping that this time we'll get through this whole session. I understand how this feeling goes. But it's not any good. I'm just hoping none of this have happened. I mean, like, come on. This needs to be in good shape. Unlike with these other Toby episodes, they are really bad. Except for Toby and Bash if I explain it in the next season. But I'm not sure how I'm going to describe that one. Other than that, this episode is very, very good. And it goes in first place at this moment. But I hope the next episode can beat that. Let's give it a try right now. Henry's health and safety is a pretty good one. I feel Henry's really wanting to listen to Victor's advice about health and safety. But that's just the time and the place. But there's no way. In case of danger, Henry crashes into a freight car that was in the coaling plant. Like on the coal hopper. And then his axles, well, not actually, his side rods just get bent. I mean, this was a good first introduction to Henry crashing into a freight car. That is a really good start. The ending is nice though, but I don't know about the rest though. Other than that, this is a really good episode and it goes there right now. But can this next episode improve? I'm hoping, just hoping, none of this would happen. Like, come on. I don't know how hard this is supposed to be. Ugh. Diesel's special delivery is very boring. How hard does it be? At least Diesel's the main character this time. That's a good sign. And I feel Diesel the fact that he does not get clapped and cheered by the children. James says that he's a diesel, in which he's incredibly savage in this one. Diesel has only one job, which was taking tiles to the school's roof. Otherwise, it will rain, and the children will have nothing to do. I feel bad for Diesel, but I have no interest with this one. Other than that, this episode is so stupid. It's not the worst so far, but I do not feel my impression over this one. I almost feel like it's not even responsible. But I hope this next one can improve a bit. And I don't know how I'm going to try and describe this one. But hey, we've nearly done it. We've nearly done this one, though. But I'm hoping this time we can improve it. Give me the next one, please. Great! Let's go! We got Pop Goes Thomas, and this one doesn't make sense. It was like Pop Goes to Diesel, but Diesel was the main reason that the troublesome trucks couldn't move. Same goes for Thomas. He goes too fast while being on the bumpy tracks, and the popping corks just get out of the lemonade. Out of the lemonade. The lemonade just sprays from their corks. I relate this one 100 times worse. At least that sequence with Sir Topham Hatt telling Thomas that he caused confusion and delay is really good. But I like the funny part that the last cork popped and knocked Sir Topham Hatt's hat right off his head. That's so hilarious. And I feel this reasoning to be 100% fantastic. Other than that, this one is not much of an interest. But other than that, let's just get going. Can I control this one? No, I can't. Victor says yes. This one is much of a decent episode. This one's decent. I feel the conflict about this one. I mean, the Solar Steamworks is very busy, don't get me wrong. It's used to fix and repair engines. But why are Ari and Bert the ones going to be second after Gordon? I mean, Gordon has a blocked valve, and Victor is just too busy with all the other engines instead of just letting Gordon be first. And I understand. But couldn't Victor at least give us a reason why he's too busy to do Gordon first? That would have been much better, but not as good as I thought. Other than that, this is a decent episode. But nothing special. The beginning of the episode is very, very weird. I mean, not a lot of the engines break down, though. And I understand the conflicting reasons. I don't know how hard that goes, but whatever. Let's get going. I don't know what to say about Thomas in Charge. Other than that, this is another weak episode. The setting in the quarry is nice, but I'm not sure about the visuals about this whole episode. The inspector wanting to inspect Sodor's property is a bad idea. I mean, like, I feel that Thomas wants the inspector to be pleased and Sir Topham Hatt to be proud. But after that crash doesn't make up for it. But the crash is where kind of weak there. I mean, two coal cars bashing and biffing together. Come on, it's just freight cars. You need to think about this first before I underestimate this episode. Other than that, this is not much of a good one. Other than this one, Percy and Mavis were in this one too, but the shots on this one is very weak, and I conflict about the picture. I don't know about being an inspector, but I find this one a bit weird. But no conflict on this one. Alright, I understand how much this episode has to be, but we gotta move on. Or I don't understand about Merry Winter Wish, but hold on. This one is okay, but I hate it when it happens. It always pops up for no reason. Merry Winter Wish is another fine one, but the conflict is that Thomas just wants to get his friend's wishes to come true. I mean, a star? Who would ever thought about asking that? I mean, like, James, Henry, and Percy are in character in this one, but that's mostly on Thomas instead of the rest. No doubt on this episode being a bit so underrated. But it's not, though. It's C tier, and I don't know how to say conflictability on these episodes. I don't know what I'm gonna say about this one. This one is a bit weak, but not very much. The visuals are good, and the crash is a bit lightweight, to be honest. I don't know about why I'm gonna say the rest has to go there. I can't realize how much this episode needs to think about costing first. I don't feel interested with this. Let's just move on to our next one. Alright, hopefully this will make up. Being Percy is not much better. This one goes there. I don't feel interested. Percy is an idiot because he just wants to be just like Gordon. It's kind of like an episode I watched which was as good as Gordon, but I'm not so sure. Why are the engines trying to be like Gordon? Can't they just be themselves? Like, I cannot understand. Alicia body returns, so that's good. But Gordon crashing through the buffers is very mediocre. And I'm not sure how I'm going to describe this one. I feel much better instead, but I'm not sure how I'm going to say the rest is. And now it doesn't make it a conflict. But I do say that Percy just wants to rush, or, well, not really. He blasts and flies past Nafford Station so fast, not even seeing the special visitor Alicia body. OMG. Alright, that just got too much out of hand. I feel like this one doesn't make up for it. Time to move on. Okay, I'm not sure how I'm gonna say this one. Henry's magic box is bland. It's not the worst, but it's very close. I'm saying Thomas's tall friend is the worst episode, but I'm not sure I'm gonna say this one. I think Thomas and the Snowman Party might be much worse. But I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, Henry just doesn't actually care much about the jobs. I mean, the fact is that rocking and rolling, looking for a special box like a Christmas tree. I mean, the winter visuals are really good, but same thing goes for Thomas and the Snowman Party. Oh, brother. I'm hoping nothing bad happens. Unless if it does, then that's totally dumb. and I'm not sure how this will describe. And I don't know what to do. I feel nothing, though. I don't feel anything. None of this actually works, to be honest. I just feel the whole impact. And I feel how the reason goes. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, Thomas and the Snowman Party is the worst episode so far. I mean, like, the children don't have a hat for their snowman. But looking for a hat? That's so dumb. Even borrowing Sir Topham Hatt's top hat. I mean, what's the main conflict about this one? So many hats to choose from, and then Sir Topham Hatt loses his hat. Have to find a reason whoever done that. The ancients had like all important jobs to do, but they can't conflict it right. I don't know how I'm going to describe this one, other than this is a bad one. And worse than I remembered. I don't know how I'm going to describe this one, other than it's so stupid. And it goes in the bottom so far. I can't understand how worse this gets. This is probably the worst episode so far in season 14. But if I choose one of them that's even worse, it would probably be Express coming through. But I don't know if I want to say this later. Too much time to figure it out. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. Other than that it's weak. It's so weak. And I'm not sure how we are going to process through. I'm running low on my ideas on who, what, where, when, why, or how should I do it. I'd say Thomas's Crazy Day is really good. But it does not go in first place though. The Logging Locos are back in this one, and they have a much needed one. But Thomas has a crazy day for some reason. That's why they call it Thomas's Crazy Day. He shows the Logging Locos and takes them to random docks to figure out how to learn. I mean, they've been on Misty Island for about like 14 episodes at this moment, and they finally got their 15th one, and they are introduced at Nafford Station. Bash Dash and Ferdinand are not the main ones, so they might be in the final episode of this season. This is a pretty good one, an example to us all. I cannot think about improving. I like their episodes though. One of them I can think about is way better. It would definitely be Merry Misty Island. But that's gonna explain on the final episode. And I can't understand that one. Alright, let's do this next one. Do remember, Jumping Jobi Wood is a great one. But I don't know about this one. I mean, Ferdinand calls Sir Topham Hatt boss. That's like the rudest comment to say after Bash and Dash asks Sir Topham Hatt about going to Misty Island too. Like, oh come on. You don't need to call him boss. Other than that, they had to stay on Sodor to learn how to be part of his engines on his railway. Don't get me wrong though, Thomas was an absolute idiot the entire time. He does not need the logging locos' help. Once they return to Misty Island to check on things, everything turns out wrong. And Edward shaking on the shape-shaped bridge is fun to watch, but it gets a bit boring afterwards. But other than that, Thomas finally needed help by the logging locos. They finally got a chance to, but not much though. I don't know how I'm going to say this one. Other than that, this is a great one. I put a song, Misty Island Rescue, because that's one of my favorite movies, but not the best song at this moment of time. Let's just move on. I hope this will get a chance to recognize how much I've spent on this one. Pretty bop there. Thomas and Scruff, well, Thomas and Scruff is barely there. It's below the grade tier. But I don't know anything else I want to say about this one. This is probably unrecognizable. I love Scruff's introduction at Brendan Docks, but he does not want to get clean because he's so scared. And finally, runs away and goes in a siding, trying to take some help from Gordon, Henry, Percy, and Whiff's advice. Scruff does not come out of his siding. It's a shame, though. I cannot risk having that as a problem. Until Thomas finally got Scruff to come out of his hiding spot. He goes to the waste dump. The ending is so funny to see, but I'm not sure how the rest is going to go. Other than this one, it's going to go really amazing. This is a pretty good one. Let's move on. Alright. Oh, the Indignity. Oh, the Indignity is fine, I guess. But I'm not sure if the rest is going to prospect that. I do realize Gordon does not like working at the waste dump. He's never even, he managed to do that cameo in Misty Island Rescue, which was having to work with Whiff at the waste dump. I'm quite surprised about that, but I don't know how the rest might feel. This is forgettable. I know for sure Scruff is back with this one, even though he was introduced last episode. But I finally think that he got an advantage to take on the prospect. After Gordon does not want to do Whiff's job at Whiff's waste dump for clean Sodor Day. That's a weird day for that to happen. Don't know how many times Gordon kept saying "Oh, the Indignity." That's mostly in the CGI series. I cannot believe that. Oh, the Indignity is a pretty okay one. I don't know how I'm going to describe this one. Other than that, this is a good one. Let's just move on to our other episode. Alright. Jitters and Japes. This one is a fine one. I love Dowager Hatton in this one. And I love the setting on Misty Island. Even though Thomas likes going to Misty Island, even though he's only been there in the other scenes in this one. I don't know how hard this gets, but I prospectively respect the opinions on this. Not much more to say because this is a fine one, and it's pretty good for some reason. But the ending is kind of joking around. The beginning is very nice. The setting is very weak. Misty Island setting is amazing. Don't let me wrong. And I love the mist too. That's why that is pronounced Misty Island. Don't get me wrong though. Misty Island is a really nice place to go. And I respect everybody's opinions on what they think about Misty Island. Even though they hate that movie, Misty Island Rescue. But it's not the worst of them all. Blue Mountain Mystery is the worst of them all. I'm sorry, but I do not feel interested in this one. And I do not like the backstories. Even though I do, but I don't know how Diesel would actually tell Mr. Percival and Sir Topham Hatt about this. That's mostly on Diesel. Or Paxton. I mean, like, come on. How hard does it have to be? I cannot make a disrespecting opportunity on this one. There's nothing special in my mind. How hard does it go? Well, you will find out soon enough. And I do not have any idea what I'm talking about. There's no respect, just any prospect. And very boring too. The fun in Annie and Clarabelle, it's pretty good. Even though Dowager Hat's laughing when after traveling through after going through the hollow tree tunnel, the Shake Shake Bridge, and even get past the logging station. Very funny visuals. Other than that, this is a really good episode. And one of the better ones so far. And our final episode, Merry Misty Island, is the best episode. What a wonderful way to end this off for the season. Even though it's not that good, though, of the season, this episode is the best of them all. I don't know why, but I love the Logging Locos as the main characters in this one. And they get their own episode. Well, Ferdinand gets an episode in Gordon and Ferdinand. Bash gets an episode in Toby and Bash. And Dash gets an episode of Emily and Dash. There's no need to have 3 characters as the main ones. They wish they had their Christmas decorations in the logging station, also on Misty Island. The visuals are really good. The setting at Random Dots is really nice. And the rest compares so much without it. I find this one fantastic. And the best one so far for some reason. And I don't know how I'm going to describe about these ones. But to be fair though, the whole wobbly between Old Wheezy and Hee Haw, none of that makes sense though. But the advice, they didn't actually need the other engine's help. Until the Logging Locals asked their friend Thomas if they will help. And everyone says they will all help them. This is a wonderful, wonderful way to end this one off. Other than that, this episode is fantastic. And the best one so far. I don't know how, but that's how it works. I can't believe it, though. Well, that's it, folks. That's all the episodes I have ranked, from worst to best. Let's go through them one by one. Coming in dead last is Thomas and the Snowman Party. Such a boring episode, and the worst of them all. Number 19th is Thomas's Tall Friend. The visuals are different, but I do not like the draft in this one. Same thing goes for Thomas. Number 18 is Henry's Magic Box. What a weak episode. And Henry's worst of them all. The winter visuals are nice though. Number 17 is Diesel's Special Delivery. Diesel's the main character in this one, which is a good side, but I don't think this episode is better. Number 16 is Pop Goes Thomas. How do I say this one? Weird. Number 15 is Thomas in Charge. I love the Railroad Inspector coming back, but the rest is boring. Number 14 is James in the Dark. The night visuals are great, but I'm not sure how I'm going to say the rest about this one. Number 12, or well... No, wait, that's not right. Okay, let's see. Coming in at 12th, or well... Coming in at 13th place is Being Percy. This is not a very nice one. The beginning is good, but the rest sucks. And Alicia Body's back though, so good riddance. Coming in at 12th place is Pingy Pongy Pickup. Emily is the main reason why she doesn't get that many jobs. But other than that, the soccer players have good characterization. Next in 11th place is Victor Says Yes. Victor is finally the main character for once. Hallelujah. Coming in at 10th place is Jitters Japes. Misty Island set is really wonderful. But Thomas doesn't make a comparison over this one. In 9th place we got Oh the Indignity. I don't know what to say about this one. Other than that, this is a good one. Number 8 is Merry Winter Wish. The setting on this one is brilliant, but I'm not sure how about the rest about those. Even though they all look the same in the Miller era, but I don't give a crap about them. Number 7 is Thomas and Scruff. Great introduction to Scruff, but the rest is a bit weird. Gordon, Henry, Percy, and Whit are in character on this one, so that's a good sign. Number 6 is Jumping Jobi. Misty Island set is brilliant, once again, and the logging station is amazing, but the rest isn't much of it. Number 5 is Henry's Health and Safety. What a fine accident, I'd say. The rest doesn't compare much. Number 4 is Steady Eddie. Or Charlie and Eddie, excuse me. I think I might have said the rest wrong. Number 4 is Charlie and Eddie. Such a good episode. And Charlie is back. Number 3 is Thomas's Crazy Day. The logging locals finally get their introduction back in this episode. Same from Misty Island Rescue. Number 2 is Toby and the Whistling Woods. The Whistling Woods is an amazing set. And in first place, Merry Misty Island. Such the best episode, and I don't need to explain. Well, guys, that's all the ranking I have. We'll see you next time on Owen's Gaming Channel 67 for Series 15.